Then we are going to develop the trade streamer module. This will need to subscribe to the channel, to the trades channel of the supported exchanges via WebSocket. And once it is streaming the trades, it has to transform them to the same standardized way, like trading pair, timestamp, size, amount, and volume, and deliver the messages to the OHLC manager. Because this streamer will only start consuming information via WebSocket and deliver the messages to the manager. Then we will have the object that will be OHLCV. This object can be volume or time. As I mentioned the other day, it's very good that we can have the two OHLCs, the volume and time-based bars. For example, and also this object will have a threshold. This threshold is, for example, if we are creating time OHLCs with candles every 5 minutes, the threshold will be 5 minutes. If the volume OHLC will have candles of measured every 100 base asset buys or sells or trades, sorry, the threshold will be 100. So for example, if I am working in BTC USDT and I would like to create volume bars every 50 Bitcoins traded, the threshold will be 50. So that's the threshold. What this object has to do, it has to receive the trades, and based on the threshold, it will assign the open, low, high, close, and volume of that candle. And when the threshold is met, it will close the candle. If it's a time OHLC, the threshold will be closing the candle using the timestamp of the trade. And if it's volume, it will use the accumulated volume of that candle. That OHLC object will have all the rows of the OHLC that you are working on in your script. And then the last module will be the OHLCV manager. This will receive the input of the users, like, hey, how many OHLC do you want to create? For example, I would like to have, I don't know, for Binance, Ethereum USDT, one OHLC of time-based bars of 5 minutes and volume every, I don't know, 100 Ethereum. So with that information, it will create the object of the OHLC. It will initialize the trade streamer, and then it will check how many data it needs to collect to start the bot. For example, if you need, if one of the metrics that you want are, for example, I don't know, the RSI of 50 periods, and you're using candles of 1 hour, probably you will need more than 50 candles below. Well, that is the thing that will check how many data has to collect to then merge the historical data with the real-time data. So once the data collector collects all the data, it will be like available to merge like the historical trades with the real-time trades that you are streaming and create the OHLC, and then only the trade streamer will be adding more candles to the OHLC objects. And the last thing is that the user will be able to define for each exchange trading pair the following nomenclature. It will be like Binance paper trade is USDT, time, and the times that you want to have the OHLCs, and volume, and the volume that you want to for each OHLC. So yeah, Mike, the trade collector will be using the historical trades API endpoints. So it will be a module that uses all the endpoints of the API of the historical trades and collects all the historical trades to have this information and then be used by to the construction of the OHLC. So we have to implement in this change the ability to collect the trades. Or probably another idea could be use TCXT, for example, to get the trades. I think that is implemented in the most of the exchanges, this functionality of request historical trades. I used it before. So I don't know if it's for every exchange, but it can be for every exchange. So, well, that's like the description of the project, the high level. Well, it's a little bit detailed in some parts, but high level is what I think that could be a good solution for this project. Anyone has a question about it?
Yeah. Fede, can you hear me? I'm not sure how good my audio is, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, good.
It's good.
Okay. All right. So yeah. For me, you're not coming through very clearly, but if you can hear me, let me just ask you a few questions here. And we can have this discussion in public about the PRD. So I think I see the need for the trade collector and the streamer in order to kind of get historical data and also make sure that data is updated by the OHLCV manager. So maybe to clarify, how do you envision the kind of like the user experience here? For instance, like does the user like initialize this using a config file or from the Hummingbot client? And I guess like if the person exits Hummingbot, like does this stop running?
Yes, there are like two things, because the trade streamer will also start like collecting the trades and storing them in a CSV. So when if we make this a microservice, we can have this running all the time, collecting trades. You can stop it when you want. But if we make this module like a Hummingbot module to use directly in Hummingbot, we can make like a definition as we define the markets in the scripts. We can also define the markets and in the same way define the OHLCs. And that module, and when you start the bot, all in the background will start, like the OHLC manager will start and will check in the data collection folder if it has the trades or not. If not, it will start collecting the trades that are missing and streaming the new trades. And when it's ready, the bot will start. So that's the other solution. If we make it like a microservice, it can run forever and start creating the OHLCs all the time. And then when you start a bot, you will have like the information available because that service will be running all the time. But if you run it with the bot, once the bot stops, that service will stop too. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I think you're coming through to people in the community, but for me, I've been having trouble hearing you. But I think that problem is more on my end with like where my computer is located in my house. So, but if people can't hear Fede, please let us know on the community call chat. But I think it's just my problem now. So even though I wasn't able to hear Fede's answer, I hope the community was. But if you have any more questions about kind of like this PRD, please put it in the community call chat. I think that the orchestration project is a little bit further along because we've already identified 2 community members who are work on it. I think the next stage there is to basically create the proposal. Unless people have more feedback on the more details that they've added to the forum thread, I think we'll probably create the orchestration proposal later on this week. And then I think this indicator one, I think we're looking for more feedback from the community, as well as if there are people in the community who want to work on this project, I think please let Fede know, because Fede was one that designed the interface for this. I think he'll probably want to be involved in the project, but like with everything Hummingbot, we are looking to involve in building this component. Overall, I think that the focus for the foundation in the second half of the year is really to try to build a more streamlined and transparent process to allow the community to help maintain Hummingbot. So that's why we're really focused on bugs right now, because bugs are the easiest thing to try to build and standardize a process around. So we're still iterating on the process, but as you can see, we're really focused on trying to create bounties for bugs and fixed. And we're also kind of like trying to close out a lot of the outstanding bounties and HIPs from Epoch 1. There's still probably a good number that we're kind of still working with the developer to merge in the pull requests and to then distribute the HBot bounties to them. So that's one reason why we're kind of slowing down on these HIPs, but we still want to make sure that we collect feedback from the community in terms of what's going to benefit them the most, and then create improvement proposals for only the ones that are going to really benefit the community. So that's why we're focused on the larger projects like the orchestration and the indicators project. But I think the goal is to every single week continue to work on this process and really eventually build something that's truly transparent and community driven.
Perfect, Mike. Well, I think that the process of building the bounties is very clear. Well, for me, it's very clear how we should proceed. Well, obviously, if you have any feedback about how we can improve this process, let us know. Well, now it's time for some Q&A. If you have some Q&A about Hummingbot, you can do it now on the chat, on the community call chat. Or if you have any suggestion about the process or the things that we reviewed today, also you can put your opinion on the chat. No, Memento is asking that we are slowing down on HIPs. Now, well, I would like to clarify this because the HIPs are for new proposals, like, for example, these indicators or the bot orchestration project. So for that is the HIP. If you want, now we are trying to focus more on solving bugs. and work on these big initiatives and let the community help us in these big initiatives, but not include more, because what we realize is that if we are working in a lot of different initiatives to improve the code base and we don't fix the current issues that we have, we are going to end bad. So the thing is that first we have to focus on the issues that we have on the code base, on the most important connectors that we have, on the most important strategies, improving the user experience. And then when we have a better process and that is working properly, then we can continue with creating more HIPs when we finish the HIPs that we have right now. I don't know, Mike, if you want to add something else.
Yeah. Yes. So just to chime in there, yes. So we'll publish a list later on, but basically we're still in the process of updating our docs right now. But there's something like about between 10 to 15 existing approved, basic HIPs. So bounties, HBot bounties for outstanding work that we're still, working to close out. Some are because the code's been merged in. We haven't processed distributions yet. Others, the developer is still working with us to review the code and get it in. For instance, in the case of Solana and the Serum project. In other cases, we're so in the process of reviewing the PR, or we're still waiting for the developer to submit the PR. So each of those are like initiatives that do take time and effort for us to manage. That's why I would say we're not discouraging people from creating HIPs, but I think there's kind of like there's a list. We'll kind of show the community in terms of how many we're managing right now. So that's why I think that whether it's we do encourage a community to submit fixes for bugs generally. So I think that if there's that's why for bug fixes, the process is we don't even have to kind of vote on them. If it's anything that's with a fix pull request, the community will review if it's a real bug fix, because those are bug fixes are ones that we're making all the time anyway. The code base for releases to do what they've done. So we want to encourage the community to help us, just build a higher quality code base in general. And so that's why we're trying to shift the bounties process to focus more on creating a streamlined process to create bug bounties, assign them to members of the community, and reward members of the community for making things. So this is more just, I think, there's only a limited number of people in the foundation, and we have to kind of focus our time and efforts on what's going to benefit everyone in the code base, and not just kind of like managing a set of projects that only maybe benefit a subset. So that's really kind of like what the focus is. But I hope that kind of clarifies.
Perfect. Nah, Memento, I think that you're good. Don't. But well, let's focus on the bug fixes. So for the ones that are entering now in the call, and if you can watch on YouTube the video where I show you the board of bugs. There you can select the bug that you want to work on. There are a list on the open bugs. With that, you can start working to solve some bugs. Does anyone has another question? Okay. I think that there are no more questions. Memento is writing. Mike, probably this one is for you. Memento asks, what is the decision on HBot?
Oh yeah, so I think you're referring to the reissuance, basically the question of whether to reissue or not. Memento. Oh yeah, yeah. It's worth continuing buying. Well, so I'll leave the question of whether it's worth buying or not up to each individual user. As a reminder, anything we say here is not investment or financial advice. Yada yada. But I would say in terms of the question of whether to reissue or not, I would say right now the foundation isn't planning to do any type of reissuance. I think that as I put in the forum thread a while back, it's I think that right now I would say that the hackers have been selling down the Uniswap or on the Uniswap pool. I forgot exactly how much is remaining, but I think last I checked, I think that there's the hackers have sold down probably like 70-80% of what they have. And the price I think is the pool price I think was still like kind of somewhere close to where it was before. So currently I would say there's no plans to reissue. I mean, if there's a lot of people in the community that want us to reissue, we can definitely consider it. But it seems like I would say just from the feedback we've seen on the HBot channel, I think one user was thought we should, but another two said they did not think we should. So currently, I would say, without a strong push from the community, foundation is foundation's default position is not. Um, but yeah, I think right now I would say just given the fact that I think the problem seems to be receding as the hackers have been selling down and kind of it's basically 1% of the total supply. So I would say I think that I think my personal kind of stance would be to do nothing. Okay, so
Okay.
should we end the call for this week? Uh, so
Yeah.
okay, sounds good. I think this week, yes, we'll probably get the orchestration. We'll get the orchestration proposal created. So that I think that one it seems like it's details are ready to go. And then I think for the indicators one, we'll probably maybe spend some more time next week fleshing it out. Right, Fede? Uh,
Okay. That's perfect.
Okay. And then I think next week we should have more information about kind of like what we're doing with the bug bounties program and how that process is can be accessed and made available.
Yeah, perfect. Probably we can show the bounties board, which is
Yeah.
the most important bugs. So, and obviously, if you have any bugs that you think that is very important and is not in the board, then because we are missing it, let us know in this call too.
Yeah, exactly. So we're still working on this, but we'll have a process for how the foundation can raise a priority of bugs if users are heavily interested in getting fixed. That's why, and I think the longer a bug is on the board, and it's not fixed, if it is still considered important, then we'll try to find a way to raise the bound fund to incentivize. So there's some processes we have to kind of build to support that. But it seems like we've already had like 3 or 4 developers, be assigned to fix the bugs. So there's clearly, I think, some interest in the community to fix bugs, and I think for us, we feel like it's a good way to start building in training a stable developers community who are earning regular income from making code base high quality.
Okay, that's perfect. Well, Debs, great chat. See you on next week. So, well, I think that we can finalize the meeting. Bye bye.